Joining us now on the line as we're discussing the World Club Food Day, which is coming on the 3rd of June. I've got Karen joining us on that. And Karen, welcome on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
That day is so significant, eh? Is it because of the birthday of Dr. what? Ignacio Ponce?
Dr. Ponseti, who's a man who literally revolutionized clubfoot treatment for children during the 20th century.
Okay.
He would have been 100 on the 3rd of June.
What is clubfoot?
Clubfoot is a birth deformity. It starts during pregnancy in the baby, in utero. And the baby is born with either one or both feet literally almost turned upside down. The foot is twisted in and over, and the heel is pulled up very tight.
Okay.
And it has to be corrected in order for the child to be able to walk properly.
Is it something which can be treated now? Be treated for what? If detected early or what? Or
It's better to be detected early, and this is one of the main reasons for Clubfoot Day, is to increase awareness of the fact that it can be treated, and to inform parents that that they should follow this as early as possible, because the younger the child is, the faster the foot corrects, and the more successful the results can be.
What are the causes? Genetic deformity or what?
Yeah, it's a combination, genetics and environmental. It does run in some families. And more boys have it than girls. It's about 2 to 1, boys to girls. And some families will have no clubfoot, and then they'll have a baby with a clubfoot, and no one really knows why. There's a lot of research into it, but it's definitely nothing to do with what the mother has done during pregnancy. And this is an important message as part of the awareness. There's a lot, sometimes guilt, shame, worry about it, and it can even affect relationships between the mother and father, and this is something that needs to be made very clear from the beginning, that it's not the mother's fault.
Wow, just thinking of those families who not in my house. Some those people like to blame the poor women. I
know. I suppose it's because she carries the child, and I've come across quite a few cases like this where the woman has actually been abandoned by the father. And, there are already so many single mothers in South Africa. We've got one of the highest rates. And if we can give a positive message like this, that could hopefully help for this to not happen so much.
Okay. So who treats this, and how long does it take?
Well, from when the baby is born, you can normally wait about 2 weeks to settle in with the baby, and then you start the treatment. And then it's every week at the clinic, and what they do is they manipulate the foot quite gently, and then apply a plaster cast right up to the top of the leg, with the leg bent, so that the foot is nice and stable. And then the following week you go back to the clinic, the cast is taken off, or you take it off just before you go, and they apply another cast. And it's actually quite incredible. Each cast, you can see how fast the foot is changing shape.
Okay.
And between 4 and 6 weeks, most children will have a completely treated foot that's in the correct position. And some will take a little bit longer, but usually between 1 and 2.5 months, that foot will be corrected.
And the child will walk as normal, like I am the way, or what?
Yes. I have an 11-year-old son. This is why I started working in this clubfoot information and awareness, and he had this treatment by Dr. Ponseti, and he is completely functional, mobile. I don't think anyone even notices anything about his feet.
So you don't need crutches or anything, he just walks?
No, he just walks. He's got no scars because there's no cutting. There's a small procedure where you clip the back of the heel tendon, but you don't actually see it. There's some children, about 5 to 10% of children, who sometimes need follow-up surgeries, but they're not as severe as the surgery used to be in the sort of the late part of the 20th century. A lot of people were cutting open children's feet, and there was a scar tissue and arthritis, but it's nothing like that.
Okay.
And his feet are stretchy. He plays soccer, he does gymnastics.
Wow.
He runs cross country. So he's completely mobile. The feet are functional and for all intents and purposes normal.
So there's not a big thing, it's just that if you can detect this and that's it. After a month or so, you're done.
Well, no. There's always a catch,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The catch is that the parents are incredibly involved in the treatment, and what happens is once the foot has been corrected and it's now in the position that it should be.
Yes.
The baby's feet are very flexible and the bones are still soft.
Yes.
And what caused the foot to turn in while the mother had the baby can still be active, and the foot can turn in again. So just like you would wear a brace on your teeth to straighten your teeth, a baby needs to wear a brace. And in the beginning, it's for the first 3 months that baby sleeps in that brace. When it's awake, it's in the brace. It comes off That brace only comes off 1 hour every day for 3 months. After that, the baby and the child only wears it when they're sleeping, and it becomes part of their routine. And it's actually not painful for them or anything like that. It's just difficult for the parents to get used to the concept of it. And then normally now they're saying that children should sleep in this until they are 4 years old, because that gives it the best chance of the foot not recurring.
Where is it mostly common? I'm just trying to detect whether it has to do with maybe, third world countries, first world countries, or what?
Well, the difference with us is, first of all, developing countries there's less surgeons, so you'll have more untreated cases in countries where we don't have enough access to surgeons. The other thing is that when they've done studies, we have the second highest rate of the world.
Who's we?
Yeah.
Who's we? We in Africa or what? We in South Africa?
South and East Africa, yes. The highest is Polynesia, and then we're the second highest. And if you take the whole world average, it's between 1.2 and 2 per 1,000 children. So one in every, we use the theory that 1 in 500 children born in South Africa will have clubfoot. It might be slightly lower than that, but we rather work on a high incidence so we can make sure that we're covering everybody. And out of those children, in South Africa, there'll be 2,000 children born on those figures. Plus, there's a lot of children who are coming in from neighboring countries who are also getting treatment. So the numbers are higher in the bigger hospitals.
So, during pregnancy, just taking you back, we can't detect it during pregnancy. You just have to wait after. Doctors can see it just after giving birth.
Nowadays with ultrasounds, it depends how the baby's lying. It can sometimes be detected. My son's clubfoot was not detected before birth. And it was only, but when they're born, it can be very easily seen if the person knows what they're looking for. Sometimes people think, babies' feet do turn in a bit sometimes when they're born. But if you push that foot and it goes into a normal position, then it's not a clubfoot. A clubfoot is rigid, and you can't push it all the way out like you can with a normal foot. And if you have any doubt about it, even if the nurse has said, don't worry, rather go to a clubfoot clinic, which they have now, 2 very good ones in the Cape Town area, and just have it assessed to make sure.
Okay. Which is where? Yeah,
okay, the first one is at Tygerberg, which is in Bellville. And the other one is Red Cross Clinic, has a special orthopedic hospital for children, and it's called Maitland Cottage, and it's in Newlands. So it's not actually at the Red Cross main hospital. Yeah.
It's in Newlands.
Yes, it's called Maitland Cottage in Kildare Road. But if you go to Red Cross, they will refer you there. Yeah.
So the parents would expect maybe spending one plus minus a month? Yes. Just changing the what do you call the braces? Something like a brace?
They change the cast every week, so it's a lot of commitment by the parent because they have to come in every week for about 6 weeks. And, it can be expensive as well, with transport and all that kind of thing. But the good news is that once they have done that, the child is able to walk, play soccer, do everything that they can do, that all other children can do.
Okay. But if you go to general hospitals, you hardly spend a cent, huh?
Well, that's right, because the treatment under the age of 5 is free. So the parents' costs are to get to the hospital, and some hospitals even have patient transport if you're from further away. So, yes, there is a burden on the family in terms of the transport costs, but the rest of the treatment will be free for any child under the age of 5 through the state hospitals.
So that the parents will decide.
I would encourage people to do a little bit of research and make sure that you go to a hospital that specializes in this. And those 2 that I mentioned are the 2 government hospitals that are very, very experienced and doing this method weekly.
Okay. So you're saying we're getting there in treating this. People are responding to this. Because I personally, I'm this age, I'm like, there's something called the clubfoot.
This is why we learn. Clubfoot Day, because people don't even know much about it. And it's actually one of the most common birth defects there is. And it's strange, because even when my son was born with clubfoot, I didn't know very much about it either. And I think it is being treated. There are a lot of success stories out there, but we need to reach everybody and get the message to, it doesn't matter where you live or what your family is or anything, you can have your child treated. This is what's so great about the South African system has got some extremely good public hospitals with clubfoot clinics that have been well set up. We've held trainings where doctors have come from overseas and trained our doctors. And they are very committed, passionate doctors, and the clinics are running extremely well with high success rates.
I'm looking at the pictures here. I'm on Google. I'm like, wow. I'm looking at the pictures.
It's actually a very exciting thing to do because there's always a happy ending.
Yeah.
So, you see a child and the parents are so upset. And I had the same thing, you don't want your child to be born with any problems. But when you see the results, it's really very encouraging.
It's worthy, and puts a smile in your face and you see kids.
It's a good news story.
And lastly, is there any support groups or support structures for for
yes,
parents?
well, I started an NGO called STEPS, which is online, steps.org.za. And linked to that, we have a Facebook group and we have an online support group as well. But what we're very excited about is from this middle of this year, we're supposed to be a bit earlier, but we're busy doing translations. We're launching a parent education program in our partner clinics.
Okay.
And that's going to be working with training mothers who've already actually had the experience themselves to talk to other mothers, to give them the tools and to give parents leaflets to take home. And we're even producing an information DVD that will be shown in the clinics.
Good, wonderful.
So this will help, it will help to definitely get the message. And it is, you're very correct about bringing up support because it can be a very isolating experience to have a child that's not the same as everybody else's child. And the more support these people can have, the better, for everybody and for the child.
And the more they come out, their parents also say, why did this happen in my family? Then they hide the child.
I know.
Like, wow, the poor child suffers. Then there's a child's future here.
Yes. So that's why it's important to know that it's not your fault and no one can really track which family it came from, and it's something that can be corrected very, very efficiently. Your child can have a normal life, and the sooner you go into the clinic, the better, actually.
Wow, quite informative. Thank you, man, for coming through. And so the 3rd of June, we just check out, there'll be some events happening or maybe...
Yeah, we're launching our book, which is for kids that sleep in the breast, and we will be talking about just having as much media coverage as we can. And I'll be talking at a Clubfoot conference in Barcelona about all our South African experiences and giving them feedback.
Wow.
So be giving a lot of coverage to South Africa there.
Oh, all of the best, madam.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
I hope they're going to... Can they give you a call right now?
Yes, our office is online. Gabby's in the office, so anyone needs to ask any questions. If they don't have access to the internet, we've got a website with a lot of information, but they're welcome to phone us. We do a lot of parent support.
Okay, which is what?
It's 021 462 7357. Yeah.
Or Gabby at steps.org.za.
That's us, yes.
Got you, madam.
Thank you very much.
Take care.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. That's Karen there, just telling us more about understanding clubfoot and how it comes about. Basically, it's a congenital disorder of the foot and ankle that causes children to be born with one or both feet turned inward and upward without the treatment of top of the foot is where the bottom should be, and the feet become fixed in this position, which makes walking either impossible or very painful. Speak to Gabby, okay? Here's the number, 021-462-7357, or email her right now, Gabby, small letters, one word also, Gabby at steps.org.za. For those who just tune in, it's Back Chat. Behind the mic is Pasimundeo. Good afternoon.
We're going to do another South African standard, and it's called Lagu Chonilanga. Hope you're going to love it and enjoy it. Kushoni nanga peshe yako rande Nakucinga kawe Nakushoni langa